Welcome back to Serp Focus, or welcome to you first time Serp Focusers. Mike here, and today we're going to be talking about getting unstuck. And by that I mean getting unstuck in the Serps. One of the most common things that people have been coming to me with most recently, and actually since I even started Serp Focus, is people will come to me and say, Mike, I've done this and my website is stuck on page 2 of Google, or they're stuck on page 3 of Google, or it's not moving. What do I do to get my website unstuck? So that is what we're going to be talking about today in the first part of the Getting Unstuck video series. This is going to be a two-parter. So first we need to fix the mindset. So before I even get into SEO tactics and different techniques and things that you can do to get your website to move, I first want to talk about the actual mindset and the concept of I'm stuck on page 2. First of all, you're not stuck. Okay, there's no secret Google algorithm that's saying your website can't pass page 2. You're not going up in the SERPs because you have not met the criteria to be labeled more relevant than the websites that are currently outranking you or ranking above you. So what the point is I'm trying to get at here is that when people come to me and say my website's stuck, my website isn't moving, the reason your website isn't moving from page 2, or the reason your website isn't moving from page 3 to page 2, or from position 8 to position 5, is because you haven't taken the necessary steps, or whatever is currently happening with your website isn't enough to make Google find your website or your web page more relevant for the keywords for the search term that you're targeting than the website's ranking above you. It's not a matter of that your website won't move. It's not a matter of your website is stuck. It's a matter of that you haven't done something that needs to be done, or something hasn't occurred that needs to occur to make your website more relevant than the websites above it. So take this concept and this mindset of being stuck, take the word stuck out of your vocabulary. You're not stuck. You just haven't done what you need to do yet. So keeping that in mind, the number one problem that I constantly see is that you aren't doing anything. And by anything, I mean you just aren't taking action. People are stuck, and that's why their website is stuck. So first I want to point out that SEO requirements are defined by the Serps, or what is currently on the first page of Google. That defines what you need to do, or what needs to be done in order to get a website to be on that first page, or to be in that position 3, or be in position 1. To be in position 3, you have to be better optimized than the website currently in position 3. It's really that simple. When you break it down in simple terms, in reality, that could mean a lot of things between domain age, authority, backlink structure, anchor text. But when you look at it in the most simple form, the truth is that in order to get to that first page, you have to become more relevant or more authoritative for that key term that you're targeting in Google's eyes than the website's currently showing on that first page. So if your website isn't on the first page, that's because you haven't met those SEO requirements. The next thing I want to say is that your expectations don't matter. Okay, whatever you thought was going to happen, whatever you think it takes to get to page 1, that doesn't define what it takes to get to page 1. I have a lot of people who come to me and say I put up 5 PBN links and my website didn't move. Okay, just because you thought that putting up a few PBN links, or you just needed a little more authority and you put up a couple links and your website doesn't move, that doesn't mean your website's damaged. It doesn't mean you're stuck. It doesn't mean your links didn't work. It doesn't mean that the websites were bad. It doesn't necessarily mean any of those things. So whatever expectations that you have when you're taking action, they don't matter when you get the end result. Okay, when you get the end result, when your website doesn't move, you need to just focus on the fact that it didn't move and then move on with your strategy. I have so many people that come to me and say, well, I did this or I did this, and these links were no good, or that didn't work, or this doesn't make any sense. And you need to understand that the results are going to define what you're doing, not the other way around. So with that said, you're going to learn by doing. So if you are stuck in the Serps, if you cannot get your website to move, you're not going to go out and learn how to get your website unstuck. You're not going to learn the exact thing you need to do to get it to move. That's not the way SEO works. The only way you're going to truly learn what it takes to get to that first page is by doing it. A lot of people will say, do I need more PBN links? Do I need more social signals? Do I need to do tiered linking? And the answer is in doing it. Okay, that's really where you're going to find what it takes to get there. And at the end of the day, I don't necessarily know, and you won't necessarily know, and by doing it, you can get a better idea, especially once you start looking at specific industries and specific terms, you can find similarities. But you're not going to go and buy the product that's going to teach you how to get unstuck from page 2, or you're not going to read the perfect thing that's going to tell you how to do it. You need to understand you're going to learn by doing. If you're afraid of getting penalized, then don't do SEO. Okay, I want to say that because I have people who come to me and they'll ask me for help, and I'll tell them to do this or try that. And 99% of the stuff that I do because it's safe. At least it's safe in my eyes, and I've yet to get anything penalized from the standard SEO that I do outside some lead gen stuff that's a little more sketchy. But if you come to me and you're saying, what do I need to do, and you don't want to put up PBN links, or you don't want to put up links at all, because I've come across that too, then you shouldn't be focused on getting to page 1. So just want to put that out there. If you're going to say, well, doing this is black hat, or doing this is going to get my website de-indexed, I'm not making this video to have a debate on what is the right or wrong way of getting your website to page 1. I'm making this video to kind of explain more the mindset and some of the tactics I use to get it done. So the last thing is, if you're not on page 1, this is pretty much what it comes down to, one of two things. You either haven't done enough of what you are currently doing, or what you are currently doing isn't enough. And I'm going to repeat that, and I want you to read that over again, because this is really where the mindset, where you have to kind of understand this. You haven't done enough of what you are currently doing, or what you are currently doing isn't enough. So if you're putting up PBN links, say you're putting up a PBN link a week. Now, either that means one of two things. If your website isn't moving and you're doing a PBN link every week, either you need more PBN links, you need to do more links than one a week, or you need to increase your frequency, or doing PBN links to your website isn't enough. That isn't, you need to do something else besides PBN links in order to get it to move, in order to get it ranked. So at the end of the day, these two things, either you're not doing enough of what you're doing, or you're not doing the right things you need to do. That's really the mindset you need to have when you're thinking, I need to get my website unstuck. When people come to me saying they're stuck, they always tell me all the things they've tried that haven't worked. Try focusing on the things you haven't tried and do that to get unstuck. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to get at here, is you're not stuck. There's nothing that's holding your website from getting to page 1. There's something that you haven't done, or something that you're not doing enough, or something that's missing that you need to get your website there. And instead of going to people and asking what's wrong with your SEO, you need to go and do the research and understand the process of learning how to get beyond that, how to find the missing link, and how to be able to use that to determine what needs to happen next to get your website to the new page, or to the new ranking, or whatever it is you're trying to get to that you can't seem to reach. So, my 3 basic getting unstuck tactics. Now, when I say basic ways of getting unstuck, I mean the first part of my strategy when doing SEO and not seeing results. Again, it's important to remember that my website isn't stuck. I'm just performing the required SEO to outrank the competition. Okay, so the first method or technique I want to talk about is competitors' links. Now, this should probably just be a standard part of your strategy. I know a lot of people I've talked to, it isn't, but it's not just about obtaining your competitors' links. It's about proper competition analysis and being able to interpret what you should do next based on what they're doing. So this is a fairly simple process. You're just going to use your standard SEO tools, Ahrefs, Majestic, Moz. You could use SEMrush. Essentially what you want to do is you want to analyze the competition. And these are the types of things you're looking for. You're looking for the number of pages on their website. You're looking for their anchor text ratios. You're looking for the type of branding they have. And you want to look at their specific backlinks. If they're getting a backlink from a relevant website that has a good domain authority, and you can get that link as well, you want to get that link. There's been many times where I've had clients where I was performing my standard SEO and there was a directory site or a specific type of site that had, all the different companies for that specific type of business listed on that site, and they were not listed on that site, and it was just a matter of getting that listing on that site. I believe it was like $50 for the year, and it brought me from number 13 to like number 3. It put me up with the top competitors, and that's really all it took. So being able to go and look at what's already on the first page of Google and seeing what links they have, where are they getting their relevance from, where are they getting their power from, and then seeing if you can obtain those same links, that's a great way to get your website moving in the Serps if you're having difficulty. Something else to look for is a lot of the times when analyzing the competition, you'll take a look at their anchor text or their branding and you'll see something very different than maybe what your current strategy is using. Looking at the competition's anchor text and the ratios and how it's set up can definitely help you structure your current strategy and give you a better understanding of what it's going to take to get to page 1. More often than not, in local niches, I see people are over optimized and it's more so a lack of authority or what I call brand authority, where they are missing the required citations or NAP listings, social media, or just basic optimization. But many times too, they'll use a lot of PBN links and a lot of heavy anchor text links, and they'll need to kind of offset that anchor text. And that's often when doing, bookmarks, press releases, social signals, just your basic kind of stuff like that. Those are the type of things you want to look for when analyzing the competition. So if you are a little anchor text heavy, look into a press release. If you're missing links that the competition has that look powerful, look relevant, go and obtain those links. If the competition has social signals, you may want to consider dripping some social signals to the page that you're trying to rank. And that is probably the first step that I would take if you're having difficulty getting your website onto the first page or getting it to move past a certain point in the Serps. Number 2 method, more content, more links, and more relevance. Now this is something I see talked about a lot, and it's actually a very basic concept, but I want to dig a little bit more into the strategy and why I do it the way I do it and how I do it the way I do it. Now when I say more links, I mean interlinking. It's time that you start thinking about your on-page linking, your siloing or interlinking as backlinks. They are anchor text links. They do send link juice, they send relevance, and they are a big part of ranking your website for your key terms. So generally, when you build a website or if you're ranking a website, you build out your site, you have your home page, and you build a page with your keyword 1, and then you build another page with your second keyword, and you have these siloed with your home page somehow. Maybe you build out some additional pages that you silo in. So the first thing that we want to talk about is just creating larger silos. And it's a pretty simple concept if you've created any siloing or interlinking on your site already. The concept basically is you're going to build an additional page. So a page that is a topic related to your keyword. So you'd have a topical page, and then you would link that page back to your primary page with your anchor text or an anchor text variation. I often use my Chicago SEO rankings as an example. So say the keyword number 2 was the Chicago SEO page, I would create another page about finding the right Chicago SEO company or showing up for organic search in Chicago, and that would be my keyword number 2 topic page that would link back to the main page that I am trying to rank. And then, of course, we should create other pages as well, and we can silo those back to the main page as well as to our other siloed in pages. So you can see how we can build out these strategic silos and use anchor text links, not just to link to our main page, but to send additional relevance throughout our silo. So we may link from one of the topical pages back to the main page with Chicago SEO, and then we might link back from another one with SEO Chicago, and then we link from the keyword topic page 1 to the other keyword topic page with Chicago SEO company or finding the right company or something like that would carry out that relevance throughout the silo, if that's making any sense. So now on top of just creating pages, we have additional forms of content or ways of posting content on our website, and that's utilizing our blog. And I recommend using the blog to create additional relevance and build out your silos further. There's a lot of benefits to using the blog as well as incorporating your RSS feed. But in this example, I'm going to basically just show you the simple concept of how I use the blog to build out additional silo structure on my site. So generally I'll create a category. The category will be relevant to my key term or my keyword. So this would be keyword number 1. So for the example, if we were still doing Chicago SEO, this category might just be Chicago, or it might be search engine optimization on my blog. And then I would go ahead and I would create a topical relevant blog post, very similar to the pages, except for I would make it more of a general blog post instead of an informational page that I would possibly be ranking for additional keywords or some long tail key terms. So in this blog post, just like the pages, we would link back to our main money page or our main keyword page that we're targeting with a variation or anchor text link. And we go ahead and do the same thing, create another post with the page 1 topical relevant keywords and link back to our money page. Now, this really gets more interesting once you start considering the advanced silo structure and how you can really build out your website, not just to target your main keywords, but to target many keywords across a large spectrum within your silos. So before, when I was saying if I was targeting Chicago SEO, if I was going after Chicago SEO expert or Chicago SEO company or Chicago SEO consulting, those could be inner pages on my silo, which I then could use to silo in with my blog. So for example, if I created another category, say this category was search engine optimization, and then I create a post about how search engine optimization is done, and I would link that back to my main page that I'm trying to rank. And of course, I could do that again with another post and link that back to my main page. But now I can also link these posts throughout my other silos with additional anchor text links, just like I said before. We want to carry that relevance throughout the site and push the keyword relevance not just directly to our page that we're trying to rank, but within the silos of the pages that we're trying to rank. So in this example here, you can kind of see how we are slowly building out the site and building out these silos. This is a big part of ranking your website, and it's a big part of my strategy. Often when I'm seeing people struggling with getting their website to move to the next level or next step in the Serps, Often I'll look at the competition and I'll see, 200 pages, 500 pages, 1,000 pages of content, and their website will have 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 pages only, and they'll just be hammering it with PBN links, and it just won't be moving. So it's important to consider building out the content on your site and strategically looking at the way you're linking that content together. Again, if you just look, you can see how we have our basic silos, how we silo in some additional pages, and then how we use our blog to create specific categories that we then can link to our silos and to our silo pages, which is increasing our relevance, increasing the authority for the topics that we're targeting. Okay, so that brings us on to the last tactic we're going to talk about today, number 3, more strategic PBN links. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I know a lot of people do PBN links, and generally this is what I see people doing. Okay, they build PBN links to their page and they'll hammer it with PBN links and it won't be moving. Now, if you've already gone through the second step, the thing that building out more content silos, the first thing to consider is if you aren't building out more content on your website, generally a website won't be gaining a ton of links if the website isn't putting out content, getting syndicated, getting traffic, getting something. So, number one reason, if you're just hammering your website with PBN links and it's not moving, it may be a content issue and you may need to build out just some more relevance and more power, and you might start getting that movement. Now, if you start building out the website and you're building out additional silo pages and blog posts and you're hitting your page with PBN links and you're still not moving, you may want to consider a more strategic method of linking. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to scratch this original method of just linking directly to your page, and we're going to start looking at a way of ranking and increasing the authority of your site as a whole. So first of all, let's get rid of these links here. Okay, so we have our website and now we are going to do some PBN links. So assuming that you've checked your anchor text, you looked at the competition, maybe you've tried some different branding anchor text, some keyword splitting. Now we want to get a little bit more strategic with our linking and the way we're sending our juice and the relevance through our site, and maybe get a little more aggressive too, and we don't want to just keep linking to the same page on our website over and over again. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is linking to your home page. I talked before about branding, the importance of branding, how often when I look at the competition versus my client's site or someone else's site that's looking for help, it's not branded well enough, and you can definitely increase your authority with branded PBN links. More importantly, if you focus on doing branded keyword relevant PBN links, so for instance, my keyword Chicago SEO, if the homepage is, michaelmilas.com, I might do an anchor text link to the homepage for Michael Milas SEO. So building up the relevance of your website as a whole by linking to the homepage with branded anchor text links or branded relevant links is a good way to kind of increase the authority, the domain authority, and the page authority and the juice going through your site and get it moving a little more. The second thing I'm going to suggest is linking to your inner silo pages. This one is obviously kind of makes sense. If you have a inner silo page that's relevant for Chicago SEO company and it's linking to a page that you're trying to rank for Chicago SEO, and you increase the authority and relevance of the Chicago SEO company page, that relevance and authority is going to transfer to your primary page and increase the authority and relevance of that page. So by linking to your inner silo pages, you're doing one of two things. One, you're spreading the authority across your website, which is going to increase your domain authority as opposed to just pushing up the page authority of one page on your website. Secondly, it's going to spread out the links going to your website. So you won't have as many links just going to one page. And more importantly, it'll diversify your anchor text because now you can have different relevant anchor text going to different pages, and you don't just have a bunch of heavy anchor text links or a bunch of links period going to one or two pages on your website. So just in the same fashion with the pages, we can also link to our blog posts. Now, the reason why the blog posts are a little bit different is because generally those You can use tags, you can use categories, you can use other things to interlink them, and essentially it's kind of the same concept as linking to your page. But the very last suggestion I'm going to give you is to consider how the juice is flowing through your site and through your silos. The very last suggestion is linking directly to your category pages, or it could be your blog feed, but generally I'll make it the category pages, and I'll show you why. So for example, if this keyword number 2, I'm trying to rank for Chicago SEO. Say I have multiple pages on my website. Maybe I'm trying to rank for Chicago SEO. I think I had made a page for Addison or Naperville. So I have these other pages on my website that I'm trying to rank for SEO or search engine optimization. So I can create a category on my blog for SEO or search engine optimization. Now within that category, I can create posts, and these are the keyword relevant topical posts that you could see: keyword 2 topical post, keyword 2 topical post, and you might have keyword 3, keyword 4, and they might be Chicago SEO, Addison SEO, and that those blog posts will link to different pages on my website with different anchor text links to spread different relevance throughout the website for SEO, search engine optimization, which is the category I'm posting in. Now, why it's important that we're linking to the category page is because the category page generally is, this is the page. You will have the feed for your blog posts on that page. So what that means is every time that you're posting a new post on your website or a new blog post and you're adding to the silo within your keyword to increase the relevance for your keyword, that link juice is coming to the website through the category page and then siloing through your blog posts within that category back to your main money page. And this is important because every time you publish a new post, you're creating a new anchor text link within your website that is then getting powered up by the link juice that's going through that category. Okay, so continuing the example, you could see here, I just chose, so we have keyword number 2, and we built out a silo, so we have 4 inner pages that link back to each other and to the main keyword number 2 page. And then we've created the keyword number 2 category, and we have 2 blog posts that are siloing down to our keyword silo and main page. So now what happens is we link to the category page, which is one page that has this feed of these posts. Now you might display the entire post on this feed, in which case you will have your anchor text links directly on the feed, or maybe you just have the feed with the links to the post, in which case it won't show the direct link to the pages. So the juice from your PBN link won't be siloed directly through the category page, but it'll still have a lot of the same effect and the same power. So this is what happens. We have our silo set up, we have our category page in our post, and we send a link to the category page. So now when we create a new post, what happens is that link juice is going to follow through that category page through our new post and power up those anchor text links, giving them more relevance and authority that gets siloed through our site and through our keyword relevant silo. So by using this strategy and really thinking about where you're sending your links on your website, you can drastically increase the authority and the power of your links, because what you've essentially done here is you can see that we used one PBN link, but it's being split up into 4 different links or 5 different links within the site that are linking back to our main money page or our main keyword page. So I hope this kind of explains a little better just the strategy of linking to your blog or to a category page, and take these concepts and this understanding and incorporate it in different ways to kind of send that juice through your site strategically to increase the power of your interlinking and the relevance of the content on your website. And it is important to point out the strategy behind using category pages or tag pages, because what we're doing is we're creating keyword relevance within that category. If my category is SEO, then I can send URL links to that category, or even anchor text links for SEO or search engine optimization, or again, like before, brand Michael Milas SEO directly to that blog page. So these are anchor text relevant links that are then getting siloed through our website's content and additional anchor text links within our website. So I'm really hoping you're understanding the power of strategically using your interlinking and siloing and understanding how that's working, and strategically using your categories and tag pages to allow you to do that within your site and increase the power of your internal linking. All right, so let's do a quick recap of what we went over. So, as far as getting unstuck, first of all, you have to change your mindset. In order to get unstuck, you have to mentally get unstuck. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You can't expect to not do anything and expect something to happen. That's just not the way it works. You're going to have to learn by doing, and you're going to have to understand that being stuck in the Serps or your website not moving in the Serps is because something hasn't occurred that you need to make occur. So going out and searching for the answer or trying to figure it out, it's important, but more importantly than anything is you have to take action, you have to get unstuck mentally, and you have to keep moving forward with your optimization, with your campaign, with whatever it is, methods that you're trying to use to outrank the competition. So with that said, we have three basic tactics that I went over, and these are kind of general ideas of how to increase authority and relevance and outrank the competition. The first one, focus on stealing your competitors' SEO. Look at your competitors' backlinks, look at their branding, find out what authority sites they're getting links from, if they're getting relevant, powerful links from directories, depending on the niche or the vertical that you're in, the type of industry. There's specific directory sites for different services, different things. You go out there, find your competitors' links, find out what they're doing, and do your best to mimic that. That should honestly be a part of your SEO strategy to begin with. But just because you've gone out and you've analyzed the competition and you've structured your campaign around that, if you find that your website's stuck, going and taking a second look at the competitors' SEO, seeing where they've got their links from, what type of anchor text they're using, and comparing to that can really give you an edge in finding out what is the missing element within your current campaign that's keeping you from getting to the next level. So the second thing, make your site more relevant with content. This comes down to building out more pages, building blog posts, creating relevant, niche targeted content on your website. This could be additional content that could rank for long tail terms or additional terms. This could be general blog posts. But the most important thing to focus on when we're talking about building out more content on your site is the structuring of that content and how you're interlinking that content with your money page or with your primary page, as well as within your silos, understanding how the link juice flows through your site and how to strategically interlink those pages with relevant anchor text to increase their authority and increase their relevance. And then, of course, the last one, strategic PBN links and siloing authority. This kind of goes hand in hand with the content, building out your site more. Because if you're building links to your website, it wouldn't make sense that your site is getting more and more links and isn't getting more and more content or more exposure. So we want to build more links throughout the site and start considering different ways of building links to increase the authority of the site and not just sending links directly to a page. Now, we may also consider the type of anchor text again and the anchor text we're linking with, but more importantly, we want to look at how we're using our PBN's power to silo that relevance and that juice through our website. And we're doing that by linking to inner silo pages. We're doing that by linking to blog pages. We're doing that by linking to the category pages and just strategically taking into account how that link juice is linking and going through our website. So that's it for this video. In my next video, we are going to have the second half of the Getting Unstuck series, and I will be reviewing 3 of my advanced Getting Unstuck tactics. And when I say advanced, what I mean is these are the things that I generally, they're not necessarily a part of my SEO strategy. I don't do them for every single campaign, but these are the more obscure things. The reason I refer to them as advanced is because they generally refer to off-page tactics, and like I said, they aren't a part of my basic optimization. So be sure to look out for that video. We're going to have a lot of great stuff in there. So with all that said, I want to hear your ideas. I know you've experienced getting your website stuck in the SERPs. Maybe you're experiencing it now. If you go out there and you try some of the tactics you learned in this video, or maybe you've tried something before, I want to hear about it. There is strength in numbers, so please share and get involved in the group. You can join the Facebook group below the video. I look forward to seeing you in there, and thank you for watching this episode of SERP Focus.